Hey, what up guys, and welcome to another Dragon Ball unboxing video. So, let's check this out. So, let's move on. So, that'll be this one right here. Okay, so that's gonna do it, and here it is. So, today we're gonna be talking about the second volume in the Buu Saga. Here's the cover. We'll go through that. And, yeah, I took a small break, but here we are now. Did go ahead and just finish volume 1 of this saga. And we'll go ahead and talk about it in a second. And also talk about what that covered. As always, let's take a look at the chapters first. So this time around we got numbers 17 all the way to 33. There's the titles, and we'll go through it. So the previous one was basically the reintroduction of Gohan after the time skip, and it ends with Mr. Satan's defeat to Trunks. So there you go. The adult category is underway here in this book. It's always funny to see the certain changes in color scheme versus the anime, but it is pretty close. But I guess that's why sometimes it just kind of sticks out. But yeah. And again, trying not to make it too long, I'm gonna actually talk about some of the interesting stuff from before. That's really cool how we're seeing Goku versus Yakon, and let's see how far this gets. But, well, since we saw 18 a second ago, I'll talk about that. I really like the translation for these. So I brought the 3-in-1 Visbig, and so here's what's actually said. When Goku's actually talking to Krillin, and he's confused about how Android 18 and him were able to have a child, in this version, he mentions about how she was a woman who's actually a cyborg, and they just leave it at that. What I liked about this one is it actually mentions how she's a woman who was slightly roboticized. I'm like, as far as a translation and making it more understandable, I think that's way better, especially because people are still to this day very confused about stuff like that. Not totally sure why, it's kind of weird, but as far as translation goes, that's one thing I liked. Another thing was in a little section there, it actually mentions when Goten was conceived. And this was actually just before the fight with Cell, with Perfect Cell. And so that's another thing that people have always been debating about. Was it around that time, you know, when Goku and Gohan were resting before the tournament? Or was it all the way back when they were first going to fight Android 19? So yeah, this one actually makes that clear. And that might not be a translation thing. That might be just updated information we got later on, just before this release came out. But that is really neat. That's definitely one difference that I liked a lot. And now in volume 1, the other thing that I found interesting was just how quickly Videl finds out Gohan's identity as the Great Saiyan Man. And she kind of puts it together too that he must be the Golden Warrior. But yeah, it's so quick here compared to the filler episodes, the anime version of Z. But yeah, that kind of threw me off, like, wow, it really is really quick. Completely forgot about that. So that is that. And that's about it. I mean, the Buu Saga definitely gets better starting in this volume. So I guess I just want to leave it at that. I guess I also wanted to mention that slightly interesting was how it looks like the tournament has been slightly bastardized. And what I mean by that is now there's a kids division, and why is that? Who knows? But I mean, it's really strange when you think about how Kid Goku was fighting Jackie Chun in the tournament, and I mean, nobody knew, but he was already hundreds of years old, you know, actually being Master Roshi. And so that's a weird change. I don't know why it actually happened. And then bastardized, because then you might think like, well, how come the champion, which is Mr. Satan, why is he basically elevated to being the finalist? And he doesn't have to go through the gambit of fighting everybody to get to that spot. He's just there at the end, at least from how the rules are gonna play out. So yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of interesting. And then, if I remember correctly, it just reverts back, not 100% how the previous tournaments were, because I mean, you still got a giant tournament arena when the tournament happens with Pan, and you know, the introduction of her and Oob and all that. But yeah, we don't have this kids division thing anymore at that point. So yeah, that was just kind of interesting. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.